Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Wednesday wheelchair. No, it's Wheelchair Wednesday podcast. I'll get it straight one of these days. Anyway, we're going to talk about, I've done a few videos in the past, but, I'm going to do it in two parts this time. And the first part is about, how people should engage with us or what we would hope they would do to engage with us. And then the second part will be how we should engage with them. So it kind of goes both ways. So I have, some suggestions here on the first part, how we would want them or other people to engage with us. And you can probably cut and paste that part for friends or family or groups that you know. So let's go through those parts first, and then we'll talk about us engaging with them. And this has to do with our disability, the visible, especially the visible ones. So the first one I have here is how, see and interact with the person. See and interact with the person. Screen out the disability for a second. Because your mind is probably going around in circles and focus on the wrong thing. Focus on the person, like you would focus with any friend or any family member that doesn't have a disability. Focus on the person themselves and try to get to know them for who they are. That's your first step. And just start normal conversations. No asking about the disability, nothing. Just get to know them for who they are as a person. And as I said, treat them like you treat any friend, any family member, any other, relationship. Forget about the disability. Forget about that piece. Be aware of the get-togethers and how to. Sometimes we plan things and we leave them out. We say, oh, no, they won't be able to. But if we made the get-together here, maybe they would be able to come, So then your mind is scrambling, oh, let's just not invite them. It's too complicated. And it's really not complicated. You just have to find a place where that it's accessible, and then you can, if your house is accessible, great. If you want to get together, you can meet at a restaurant or a bowling alley. I don't care where it is, but make sure it's accessible, and then invite that person. Don't leave them out just because you feel that it is impossible. Nothing is impossible. And you can ask, you can Google it for all I care. Figure it out. But don't leave them out. Don't leave your friend out because they have 4 wheels or 6 wheels in some cases. Truly, think about it. You want to get together on a Saturday or a Friday night, pick a restaurant that's accessible and make sure that that the tables are kind of at the right position, that, if they're on a special diet, just say, hey, man, we're going to get together on such and such a day, and we picked out this restaurant. It's wheelchair accessible, and I checked it out already, because sometimes you have to check them out. And, I know you're on that liquid diet, and, they have XYZ, So it's that kind of effort that is appreciated a million times over. So check it out, think about it, and do your best to be inclusive with your friend, with your pal, with your neighbor, with your family member. And try to figure things out on your own. And then you can ask questions, you can Google, and try to figure out, But this point is really important. I want to go back to treating a person with disability just for who they are Get to know them. Do they like art, or are they technical, or just like you would any other person. Who is this person? And don't probe, the really personal questions. You don't go up to meet somebody and just say, hey, how's your sex life? You just don't. Those are just really personal questions that is none of your business. Now, if you get into a deeper conversation, you have to build the relationship. You just don't go from here to down here. You just start, level by level, and you build it. And you don't go down to those very personal questions, because really it is not your business. If the other person with a disability, the conversation goes in that direction, they feel more comfortable and they trust you, they might share it. Maybe they don't feel comfortable sharing it. So just stick with the comfortable questions. It's just really important to just be with that person. And the personal questions, forget it. If it ever gets to that, great. If not, it's okay. So just build the relationship with the person, not the disability. That is not who they are. Because when a person ends up all of a sudden with a disability, they continue to be who they are as a person. The disability is just what happened, either by birth or by accident. So, but the disability is not who they are. All right, so now I'm going to flip it, and we're going to go to the other side, to our side, and how to be in connection with others. So first of all, it's no need to be embarrassed for who we are. Absolutely no need. You are a human being with all your gifts and pros and cons, just like any other person. The disability doesn't make who you are. The disability is what happened at birth or by an accident or health issue, health crisis, but that is not who you are. The disability doesn't speak for you. It doesn't act for you. You need to be confident, a person who is not embarrassed, who has, I said to a person who was concerned that, why aren't you out of that wheelchair yet? And I said, I probably will never be out of the wheelchair, and it doesn't matter. I'm going to make the best life I can from the chair. The best life. So, and that's how we need to speak, really. So be confident. No need to be embarrassed if you're in a chair or not. Be patient and forgiving with the others who don't understand the disability. Be patient as they learn about you as a person, not the disability. Steer them towards getting to know you. So be patient and forgiving every 2 minutes until they start getting it. Be keen and alert for teaching and guidance moments. So, sometimes I don't want to appear like preachy. I'm sure that sometimes I sound a little preachy, but, because this is an educational and supportive channel, sometimes you have to get into that mode. But, there's always moments in which we can give them gentle guidance. Hey, man, we want to go out, blah, 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 but, we don't know how to do this. How do we start? How do we set up the hotel? How do we set up what questions do we ask? And that is an effort on their part. So that's a good sign. So, that's when you can really lean in and say, hey man, if you want to go to XYZ hotel or to beach XYZ, this is how you do it. This is who you call. And if it's close enough, just drive by and go in, check things out. Sometimes they say, oh yeah, we're accessible, and really they're not. They don't understand what accessible is. So so these are the things that you need to ask, Where is the entrance? Is it a ramp? Is it a lift? What is it? Challenge them. So listen keenly for those moments to give guidance and support to them wanting to learn, wanting to include you. New friends, new teaching moments, new guidance moments. So, once you have those new relationships, you got to start all over again. And, see where they're at and just be listening very carefully. When you can, well, I would prefer this, or, can I suggest, this is how I did it, XYZ day. I have seen that this works the best, so it doesn't sound too harsh or like you idiot, which is really what we would like to say. But we have to know, and we have to remember that sometimes people have not had the opportunity to have a relationship with someone with a disability, so they really don't know, unless they're a therapist, physical therapist or occupational therapist. And even those people sometimes get they stumble as well, because one thing is being in a room where you're training someone with a disability versus being out there and being in relationship and in a friendship with a person with a disability. So very different relationship. So because this is, for the other people, it's important for them to ask the how and the what. Those are non-judgmental questions, how and what. So, and for us as well, to ask how and what. How do you want to do this, or what did you have in mind? So if you know what they were thinking, then you can guide them in the right direction. So what and how, judgmental questions. And this one is key. The more relaxed you are, the more relaxed and confident you are, they'll also be relaxed and not tense up. Oh my gosh, I have a person in a wheelchair here. I need to protect them. I need to watch over them. No, you're in a wheelchair. You're not blind or deaf. So, and you can speak for yourself. So, because sometimes it gets a little ridiculous. They're trying to help you every 2 minutes. It's like, no, not a problem. I can read the menu. Not a problem. I can ask the question on my own. I'm here. I can speak for myself. So, and sometimes they just want to be protective and they want to be helpful, and they don't know how to just be with you and watch you and respect you and allow you to be you. So be as relaxed as you can. Might be the first time you're going out with friends, and you're a little tense. But try to be, and relaxed and comfortable with who you are, so that everyone else is okay. If you're okay, they're okay. So that's when that forgiving and those patience come in as they stumble to learn how to be with you, how to be in relationship with you, because they think it needs to be something different and something special, and it doesn't. It really doesn't. So the vibes that come from us is also important. So how we react and how we behave and what we allow and we don't allow is important for the other person to feel, oh, it's okay, They're relaxed, they're comfortable, they're doing their thing, and that's okay. So So really, it's important to be as relaxed and comfortable as you can be. And I know that a lot of you have gone through relationships or have stumbled in relationships or have had annoying relationships. So if you've had those uncomfortable moments with people or with family, feel free to share those moments so we can all learn, relationships or connecting with other people and having a disability is never easy. It's never like, a snap and you got it. No. It takes practice. And it takes practice for the other side as well. So that's what I wanted to say in this podcast. I think it's something that we need to think about and to appreciate, but not to isolate ourselves because of the disability or isolate ourselves because we're insecure or embarrassed. No, we need to get out there. We need to get out there. So let's try not to be embarrassed. I remember when I first I came home with my first wheelchair. I was only living with one other person, and she was like a little surprised, but she was okay with it. So I was like, oopsie, I'm in a wheelchair. So yes, in the first time you're out there with a wheelchair or you are out there with a walker, I don't care what it is, a cane, a walker, specialized machinery of any kind, it can be a little awkward, for the first. It shouldn't be awkward for forever and ever. And I know that some of us, we need that practice for us to become comfortable. So imagine the other side having to do their work and becoming comfortable with who you are. They see the wheelchair first, and we need to remember that. They're seeing the wheelchair first, and then they'll see you, and hopefully they'll gradually move their sight away from the wheelchair, away from the disability, and just focus on you. So the other tip I wanted to throw out there is a sense of humor. That's really important. If you're not good with sense of humor, then don't. Just throw that one out. But, for their side, at the beginning of a relationship, might not be the greatest thing to do because they might stumble. And it might come out wrong. But for you, if you're good with a sense of humor, then throw that in because that might also help, the situation and growing into the relationship. If you laugh, then they can laugh and everybody can relax. So keep that tip in your back pocket, a sense of humor. So keep that in mind. So we'll see. I'm hoping that these little pointers are helpful. The first part, you can share with families and friends, in terms of see and interact with the person, not the disability, to treat the person with disability like you would treat any other person, and be aware of the get-togethers and the how to include them. Don't say, oh, no, well, he's in a wheelchair, or he can't, or she can't. No. Figure out how you can adapt your event to be accessible and to be comfortable with the person, for the person, and with the person with disabilities. So, so that's all I had. And I am hoping that you all are well. I want to thank everyone for coming to the channel to listen to the podcast or to the videos. We have reached officially 150 subscribers. Actually, we're up to 154, so we've passed that mark. And we're on to our next goal, which is 200 subscribers. So if you are interested in this channel and you feel like this channel is helpful, feel free to subscribe. We'll make it as interesting as possible. Your comments and your participation make it more lively. So, I have my ideas and my suggestions and my guidance and my tips, but you have ideas also that are helpful for people with disabilities who use wheelchairs, who are using wheelchairs for the first time. So it's important to know that they're not alone and that you have some ideas and tips that they might pick up and try, 1 or 2 tips. So stick around, and I'm hoping that you have a great rest of the week. Take care, warriors.